Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a garden tour, May 2024. I'm kind of starting late this year because it's been kind of a strange spring here in southeast Michigan. I thought I'd start out and give you a tour of where the garden stands right now. I'm looking at a nasty bug on one of my alliums. So I thought I'd start with one of the newest beds. You're going to have to excuse the weeds. I have been weeding, but it's been a pretty vicious cycle. I've had nice tulips. This is the lilac I transplanted here, 2 years ago? And let's start here and go around. This lavender looks like it's been a tough, for me, spring this year because it warmed up here in Michigan and then we had 2 consecutive freezes over a week and a half. And it kind of nailed some of my plants, like my lavender here. This wisteria, I don't know whether or not it's going to come back. It has some buds maybe on it. But, the good and the bad. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the roses. We'll start with the bad news, then go with the good. I had heavy cut. I had to cut back my roses drastically. Let's walk around this way. So I'm really going to put a lot of effort into them this year. A lot of clover weeds this year, a lot of dead nettle. But I'm happy about this. This is one of those coral peonies I planted a couple of years ago. It has never done very much. But this year it seems to be coming back. Plus the clematis is here. That's a clematis there, and there's one back over there. They grew up first year, second year. Last year they did okay, but then they died back. They get some sort of a disease. So here is an Atlas rose. Had to cut way back. Same with this one and that one because it just tore apart. I mean, the canes were black all the way down. This is my Crown Princess Marguerite. I had to cut her way back. She was way up here. So that happened. This I had to cut way back, and it's already got some black spot on it. Zephyrine Doran. And my favorite rose, Princess Alexandria of Kent. There. Cut way back. This is Lady of Shalott. I, again, cut her back. We'll go back over here. Honestly, I have been weeding. I stuck some tulips in here. My latest David Austin rose is a Boscobel. I just planted her. That is Scepter d'Isle. And now this one's interesting. This is a Chicago piece, which is absolutely gorgeous. The year before last. Last year, it just took every disease in the world. I was digging it out, and I noticed on the bottom there was some green growth, so I stuck it back in. So I think it's coming back. Now over here, look at the pretty tulips. They do so well. This is Handel. This is its 3rd or 4th year. It never grows very much. And this is my unknown climber here. I had to cut way back on. And sadly, this is my Jacob's coat rose here. I think I'm seeing some new growth down here, but I don't know if I can get in there to see. But this was way up this trellis that I had to cut back. Now over here are, I have to look up the names, 2 roses, Rio something, who knows. My irises are doing extremely well. I got those from Lori, one of my neighbors. So I'm looking really forward to that. Now last year I planted 2 colettes, band roses, which I will never do again because they're way too small. There's one here. Plus there's one here. So I'm hoping to see better growth on those this year. Now we're going to get into one of the sad moments. Let me step over here. This is my apricot. The freeze took off. It had flowered. The freeze just killed it all off. So what I'm going to do is, I notice new growth down here. I'm going to cut it right here. And hopefully it'll come back. The same thing, didn't do it as badly, this peach. I know I need to trim this better, but I'm just kind of afraid to. Here, see, it looks like it died off here, this branch here. But I'm kind of hesitant to do it right now because I'm a chicken. Over here, I had daffodils come up. This is a Dr. Huey. I don't know if it's going to stay. And here's the bane of my existence. This is a tulip tree. Someone around here has a tulip tree. And every year I get a couple of them growing in my garden. But this is a nice daffodil. I don't know the name of it. And this is a creeping phlox. And my dicentra bloomed really early and came back. So some of these tulips are already gone. I cut this Akiba way back here. The dogwoods are coming up. And I don't know, if mushroom people, maybe you can tell me. What kind of a mushroom is this? There's 2 of them. I don't know. Now over here, there's a little curly hostas coming up. Can't think of the name of these right now, but I really like them. I've got the tulips here, the alliums. Coming up. I really like these things. Like coleum or something. They're coming up. Now the frost took this hosta way down. It happened to a couple of my hostas. I'll have to find the other ones. And this columbine took a hit. This one did better. I think it was more sheltered. There's my heuchera and Brunera back there. I have to come back and trim the tulips back. And these, see, the frostas, they're going out. But here again, now this one's coming back a little bit. Kind of nailed it a little bit. So over here, now here's the fun part. I was going to take this fence down this year and figure out trellising or something like that, because I don't want to deal with the city. Who can afford fencing these days, right? Well, my neighbors have decided that's a really extraordinarily great place to put tires. I don't think so. You know, you gotta wonder about people sometimes. All right, over here, the Aconocloa is coming back. I may dig those up and divide them. The other plant that never seemed to do well is rhododendron. I never get blooms on it, so it may come out. And the same with these azaleas. Now this is the first year this one has bloomed. They're two alike, but then the freeze, they were coming along really great, and then the freeze just popped them. I mean, I don't know, I hate taking plants out. Lepid's doing well. This rose is doing really well. That was Cilia back here. Rose is coming along. Oh, by the way, if you have vinca in a hanging basket, be careful. This rose, Bliss Parfum, I can't remember. And I didn't label them well enough. I guess it really doesn't matter. That one is Dark Night. See if I can get in here without killing myself. Again, I cut it way back. It was way up here. I cut it way back. Same with that one. Now, here's another thing, people. If you plant lemon balm and you decide it's overtaking your life, it'll come back for years. Here's an Atlas rose that I had look the cane dieback here on this one. Here. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. I don't know if I cut this one off, I may. Same with this one. This was a very tall rose. Now this was one that I transplanted from my mom's. Okay, a little bit of that had come all the way up here. I cut it all the way back, so it is coming from the bottom. That's a yarrow. I really like that yarrow. This is New Dawn. New Dawn's doing fabulously. James Galway's doing fabulously. This is Roald Dahl and Poet's Wife. This is Royal Parfait, I think. Now here we come to some of my problems. Both of these roses, this one and this one, Eustacia Vi and Vanessa Bell, presents from my children, are dead. David Austin. I think. What's this? So now I'm afraid to take that up. I wonder if it's growing from down under. No life on this one yet, though. And that is a peace rose that I had to transplant over here and was doing fine last summer, but winter killed it off. Over here, I mean, seriously, kids. Vinca. I think it's Vinca. I'd have to look it up. It's just growing everywhere. Over here, the heuchera is doing really nicely. This is a sweet autumn clematis that gets just wild. So 3 or 4 roses basically are dead that have to be removed. And when you remove a rose, you can't just really plant right in that same spot without a lot of effort. You either have to solarize the soil, dig it out to like 2 or 3 feet, which is difficult in this clay soil. Or you can supposedly plant a marigold of a certain type, the one that has Nema in the name, in the Latin name, because it's, from what I read, it's a nematode attacking the rose plant. You know, it's, and then you remove it, those nematodes are still in the soil, and when you plant a new rose, it'll attack those and kill it. It's called rose replant disease. There's a bit of information out from several universities to read about, but basically, thanks to the, and I'm going to say it, the David Austin people saying that these roses are hardy to zone 6 B? I'm B now. I was A. I think it's BS. The only advice I can say, I mean, it's crazy. I've got these growing here, and these didn't make it. I understand dieback. I understand frost issues, but come on. So if my advice to anybody, if you're getting a rose, get one that's hardy down to rose. I mean, zone 5 here in the U.S., zone 4, because that's what I'm going to be doing. The only reason I did get that Boscobel is that with David Austin here in the United States, I've had several plants sent out to me that were either dead on arrival, didn't thrive, so I had to get them replaced, and the Boscobel is one of the replacements. I think I still have a credit on the account, and I'm kind of like, well, why bother, even using that up. I know that's kind of disheartening, and I know there's a lot of people like, oh, it works fine for me. Well, Southeast Michigan, we do get freezes, and I'm not really concerned, when they sit there and say zone this, zone that. Unless you're going to go out and cover them, I wouldn't suggest it. Unless, I'm the kind of gardener, I like to plant stuff, I like the pretty. I don't want too much of the fuss anymore. I am getting older. So let's go and take a look at my Japanese maples. Love them. I do not remember. I think this is Ryusin. Look at Ryusin. Just absolutely fabulous. This one is Autumn Moon, I think. This one is Dragon Master. It's a slow grower. Coming back really nicely though. Let's see, the Ryusin, this one. And this one is Waterfall. A lot of nice leaf growing on it. And this is Shisha Shigeru, lion's mane. Doing nicely. So, I have work to do here. What I would like to get done this year is these stones placed somehow. Obviously the weeding has to continue. And I have the pots to do. I also think I'm going to grow more vegetables this year. I have some grow bags, and obviously I have pots. If you watched any of my old videos, you know I do have tons of pots. So, just to figure out a place where they get the most sun. Because I don't know if I have it in me to dig up any more dirt ground here. This is funny because I had helicopter seeds last year. And so I planted them. And I just stuck those over in the corner by the house over there. And they're coming back, maples. I don't know what kind. And this, my friend Lori, I gotta get the weeds out of here. The hydrangea. We don't even want to talk about my hydrangeas. I'll tell you about that in another video. But that's from a cutting. I had 3 or 4 of them. All the others have died off. This one's managing to come back. Because this hydrangea over here is supposedly one of the blue ones that you put the acid on. It's never really thrived in this spot. You can see it's starting to come back. So maybe I'll just pop some more fertilizer on it and hope for the best. But basically, that's the garden this year. I know I'm going to do a lot more fertilizing. I'm going to try a new irrigation thing. See if it works, because if it does work, I can use my rain barrels more. But the tulips have been fabulous this spring, and I think the irises are going to be absolutely fabulous when they come back. I did plant these tulips, most of them, last fall. And the daffodils and the not snowdrops, the little hanging white ones. And I got those from Longfield Gardens. So I should close up of these. I think they're really pretty. I do want to get more of those. I did plant, I think about 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 came up. So, yeah. I think if I'm going to get more of them, I'm going to obviously buy more bulbs. And then there's the compost heap that I seriously have to work on, plus the wood I have to get rid of. And then, of course, I have my new thing to plant with, the tires from the neighbors. So the fact that I was going to try and remove this fence, I think I'm just not going to until those tires are gone, because that's not something that I really wish to look at. So if you are a neighbor, think about the view on your other neighbor's side. Because, it's not good sometimes. I did go to Home Depot and get some potting soil and cow manure. Damn near killed me. I think I'm getting too old for this. So that's where I stand right now. The sedum is doing really well. And the grasses are just, the weeding. I have been weeding every day. It's been a damp spring. I have 2, let's talk about weeds, besides the dandelions. 2 weeds that were amazing this year. This one called dead nettle. And I know some people like to eat it. I don't. I tried it. Insane. Tons of it. And then there's this other little nasty that you have to be kind of careful with. Here it is, right here. This one. Look how can you see how the seeds just pop off? I had the name of it. Maybe I'll put it in the show notes. I'll look it back up. But be careful with it when you're pulling it, because it'll pop right into your eyes. Here, look here. You can't pull this thing. See, they just pop up. You can hear them. Oh, shit. Let's see a dead nettle. So, yeah. Oh, while I'm here, let's talk about the hydrangea issue. I had these all named. Tags are all gone. This one's coming back. I had to cut it way down because it was just nipped off. This one I only have one branch on that's viable. There's one over there, so I don't know if that one's staying. This one's doing much better than a lot of them. But again, I've got dead branches that have to be cut. This one, again, a lot of cutting because they all died. Same with this. And this one, I see a little bit of growth down here. I thought it was totally dead and I was going to dig it out. I may dig it out anyway. Because my idea of a hydrangea hedge here is just not doing very well. But that's a lot of work. And, you take a little bit at a time as you go. So, I will leave you with this. I hope you're all having a good day. Good day going out in your garden. And we will see you in the next one.